Alright, before we get into this video, I want to try and see if we can get to 10k subs before the end of the year. Doesn't sound like much, but to me, it would be an awesome milestone. Almost 90% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you want to support the channel, hit the subscribe button, it would mean a lot. Alright, enough of that, into the video. What does it mean to be great? Is it winning? Is it competing at the highest level? Or maybe even winning the most money? 2023 we saw some amazing storylines, great players from all around competing during the season. Some won early, some won late, but in the end, they all won. It was an awesome season of disc golf, and to top it off, here are the greatest players from the 2023 season. Let's get into it. Some of these players for sure make the list, for others it was a closer call. Here are a couple of players that made it into my honorable mention for the 2023 best players. Simon Lizotte didn't achieve as much as he did last year, but still, overall, pretty great year for him. It was super similar to 2022. If he wasn't in contention, then he was kind of out of it. But at the Music City Open and D-Glow, he was on. 2 Elite Series wins from Simon this year, more than enough to make honorable mention for being one of the best players of 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Discraft Great Lakes Open champion, Simon Lizotte.
Kyle Klein started the season off hot. The comeback win at Waco was awesome to see, but after that, he went pretty quiet for the rest of the season. No other wins, some closer calls, but just didn't get the job done until the United States Disc Golf Championship. 1 Elite Series and 1 Major on the year definitely qualifies to be in the honorable mention. If it wasn't for that crazy final hole at USDGC, Klein would have had one of the most dominant wins in USDGC history.
And your 2023 United States Disc Golf Champion, Kyle Klein.
Unbelievable. He did it.
Ricky Wysocki! Come on, Ricky!
When looking at 2023 as a whole, it's really hard to believe what was achieved by Ricky Wysocki. After battling health issues for most of the season, Ricky is still able to get the job done and be recognized as one of the best from this year. 4 players stood out above the rest, and Ricky is the 4th on that list. Probably would have been a different story if he was able to compete healthy, but still he walks away with Silver Series win, an Elite Series win, and then finally he ends the season on top of the rest, with claiming the Pro Tour Championship title. When he turned it on this year, Ricky was incredible. He's so well-rounded that at any course he could play at a high level. But the true key to Ricky's success is his putting. We saw it at the Tour Championship, and we see it in his other wins too. The Preserve this year, he had some hype going into it. Felt like Ricky was on the upward trend for his injuries, and such that when he won, maybe his return to form would truly happen. He didn't accomplish what he did in 2022, but he still has to be recognized as one of the greatest disc golfers in 2023.
Let's reflect on the entire 2023 season for you. What are you most proud of?
I think just at the beginning of the season, obviously with the health troubles, you know, I didn't know where I was going to be come mid-season, late season like right now, and I told myself, you know, I really want to be primed and ready for USDGC and the Pro Tour Finals. And
not 2-time, 3-time, playing against sports, Jonesboro Open presented by Prodigy champion Calvin Heimberg.
Here's where things get a little interesting, and I know what a lot of you are thinking, but yeah, I have Calvin Heimberg as my 3rd best player. What this whole video comes down to is, what do you value in being the best season in disc golf? Is it wins? Is it placements? Is it major titles? For Calvin, if you look at his season, he only won 3 events, 2 Elite Series and 1 Silver, and all that came before May. After that, he had an incredible season of placing really high and winning the regular Pro Tour season in points. Hands down, when it comes to the best average placement, Calvin wins. But that's not what I'm going to remember in a few years. And honestly, for me, when you're looking at the best, it's about who wins the most. Who comes out on top, not just in the Silver Series events, but in those really big moments, major titles and such, when players rise. Calvin got off to a hot start winning Vegas and Jonesboro and the Texas State Silver Series. After that, it was a lot of podium finishes for Calvin. I do kind of feel bad putting him in this 3rd spot, like it discredits what he was able to accomplish. But in the long term, winning is valued higher than point totals on the regular season. Calvin Heimberg, the 3rd greatest player in the year 2023.
DGBT season champion, Calvin Heimberg.
Gannon Burr.
And he only gets better. Gannon Buhr breakout season last year, winning a major title. This year he takes down 5 wins on the Pro Tour. 3 of them Elite Series, 2 of them Silver Series. When these discussions come up for who are the best players, Silver Series wins are always pretty interesting. Do we talk about the field, how strong it was? Because of the KC Wide Open, there weren't many top pros. But how about the Blue Ridge Silver Series? Basically everyone was there. In 2023, Gannon walks out with 3 wins at 3 Elite Series events. Open at Austin, crazy win. The Des Moines Challenge, wins with weather issues. And finally at Idlewild, which is super impressive, one of the best events on the year. When it all comes down to proving who had the better year, it's best to put yourself in their position. Would you rather have Calvin's season or Gannon Buhr's season? I'd rather have more wins on my record. I'd rather have that 5 dubs to walk away with. And most importantly, I'd like to win on 3 very different venues like Gannon did. Calvin won on a couple of open courses. Gannon did so as well, but his win at Idlewild is so hard to do that I think it's worth double. Gannon Buhr, the second best player in 2023.
Gannon, champion here at Idlewild. How does that sound? How does that feel?
That's crazy because a lot of my wins have all been on pretty open courses with a lot of OB, and I wanted to prove this week that I can really play in the woods and that I'm not, just a one-sided golfer.
The winner of the 2023 PDGA Pro World Championship presented by LL Bean, Isaac Robinson!
It's so weird getting to this point and having to really argue for who I think had the best year of 2023, who that best player was. In the end though, there's just some things I value more than others. Overall, maybe Calvin and Gannon performed better at more events, but winning is key and winning big is better. 2 major titles for Isaac Robinson. He won Champions Cup in incredible fashion, dominating the field. Then he went to the World Championships and clutched up. He didn't dominate like he did at Champions Cup. It took him a couple rounds to get going. But man, he showed that when it's the biggest stage, the biggest moment in the sport, he does not crumble. And when we look back at Legacy at 2023 and who will be remembered for more of what they achieved, the podium finishes fade away. The point totals and the money list does not get talked about. What is remembered is who won the World Championship, who won the majors, who performed at the biggest events. No other player in 2023 came close to achieving what honestly didn't look possible by a player not named McBeth or Wysocki. I didn't think he would do it. I didn't think Isaac Robinson would come out swinging at Champions Cup and finish the job at Worlds. If I could take the accomplishments of any player in this video, I would want what Isaac Robinson did. In the end, the greatest player of 2023 is Mr. Robinson, and I stand by that. What a season, what a year, what an amazing 2023. On to the next.
Thank you guys so much for following along. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much for the support.
Congratulations, buddy.
He's on fire!
This was so much harder than last year, but that just makes it more fun. Honestly, having 3 candidates with a great seasonal resume makes for this to be anyone's pick. You can argue for all 3 players at the top. What do you guys think? Who would you pick to be the best player of 2023? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.